So the first thing I want to do is congratulate the two of you on Miss Nola getting the most votes for best radio personality on the Hopkins County Best of for 2020. And Mr. Dave, you're the runner-up for that category as well. So congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
For that. How do you think that relates you to the public? What do you think that says about you?
Well, to me, it's straight from the people. So in our business, it's impossible to know who or how many people listen. So it feels good.
Good.
Yeah, I think it's a great honor, to have that many people take the time to vote, to read the newspaper, and also to get online and do that and take the trouble to do it. So thank you very much, everybody.
Sure. Dave, why don't you tell me a little bit about your career, how you got to where you are now that warranted this honor?
Well, I actually started in the media business when I was 13 years old. I lived in a suburb of Washington, D.C., Silver Spring, Maryland, and my first job was as a paper boy for the Washington Post, and I had, I think, 125 or 130 papers on my route daily and Sunday. So I realized right then, that's a hard job, especially when you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I said, nobody ever does that. Little did I know, moving on. Anyway, I got interested in radio. There was a religious radio station down the street from my house that was owned by a religion that did not work on Friday nights or Saturdays. So they hired me at the age of 14 to go and be what they call a board op, to play recorded shows and music. And I would work on Saturdays because I wasn't of their faith. But anyway, so that's how, and I did not get any money, by the way, for that. You can relate to that, Jay?
Well, it set the scene, huh?
Yes, that set the scene. When I was in high school, I got a job as a copy boy at WTOP in Washington, which was the CBS station there. And the copy boy was a fantastic job. I really got interested in news and working with so many people, and breaking news in the mid-60s was always going on, it seemed like, pretty much today. And also had a job part-time as a disc jockey at a radio station in Sulphur Springs.
You got paid for that one?
I did get paid for that one, but not much. And it was only only 6 to midnight, and Saturdays and Sundays. That's when teenagers worked. I went to college and majored in music, of all things, because music was my other love, up in New York, in Ithaca, New York. And after college, I got a job in Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin, at the TV and radio station. And then it became time to go into the Army, and I thought this was the end of my life. This is the worst thing that ever happened. I ended up loving it. I was in for 22 years and retired at the end of 1992.
And you did music in there?
I played in the United States Army Field Band in Washington, D.C. I was in the division that did touring all over the world, all 50 states, all the territories,
wow.
and 21 foreign countries. I think we visited. That's where I developed my love for travel.
That's a lot of traveling.
It is, but I loved it. It was great.
So when you retired, what is it that you started doing?
I sat around on the sofa for about 6 months until the rest of my family said it's time to go back to work again. Mm-hmm. And I had no idea where I was going to go. And eventually I just was at a map, and I saw an opening for KDXE in Sulphur Springs, Texas.
Dixie.
Yeah. And I said, I've been through Sulphur Springs. I know exactly where that is. So I left where I was living in Dallas, got on I-30 and got off at the exit and went over to KSST, because everybody knew that building on the interstate. Is that right, Gay?
Yeah, everyone knows KSST.
And they said, no, you belong over at the other one. And I forget who I asked. It may have been Cecil. Said, go back, you have to go downtown, turn on Glover Street, and that's where we were. That's where the transmitter remains to this day.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
That's just it.
Been there ever since?
I've been there ever since, yes.
That's great.
That's 27 years, I guess.
Wow. Miss Nola, how about you?
Well, I started out at KDXE. I was just working fast food all my experience is just here local, well, in Paris a little bit, but I was a mom of 5 and would work hours that I could get away and have some extra income. So fast food, and I got offered the job, I suppose. The person from KDXC was looking for someone to hurry up and fill this position. And so I applied and I got it, and I just loved it. I did commercials and sales by phone. So I was 34 years old, and I guess that's a good age to get serious about a career that you can really love.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked at KDXC about a year and a half, worked briefly for KBUS in Paris, and then I came home. It was time to get the kids back in school that summer, end of summer, and when I did, then I decided I would just go out to the old radio station.
The old radio station.
And just ask some questions, and lo and behold, a lady that had been there 15 years had just put in her notice, and there was a morning show opening. I just got it and walked in at the right time.
That's great. Serendipitous.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Okay, well, one of the things I wanted to bring up too was we all work in different mediums. You have Enola, KSST is radio and television.
Correct. We have our cable channel 18.
Yes.
And we have our website.
Yes, and the website. And then you have the radio and the website. And then we have print and the website. So how do you think that all of us work together or don't work together in order to serve our community better?
Well, we all serve our community just from our different posts at the corners of town, but we all do the same thing.
Yeah, and you'll notice pretty much the same stories, except for feature stories that are often in the newspaper that we don't cover. We are a group of music-intensive radio stations. We're different from KSST in that our news is 90 seconds long.
Mm-hmm.
And I do it for the stations, and I'm news director for Sulphur Springs and for Paris. So there's a lot of work to be done there. But I used to, when I worked at other when we first started at KDXC, we would have the long newscasts, and I'd say, oh, what am I going to do for all this news now you got too much, and you've got to get it in 90 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So we do headlines, try to keep people up to date on what's going on in the community, and then often if they want to find out more about it, they're going to pick up the News Telegram and get the in-depth story. So that's kind of how we differ from the newspaper, and also to a certain extent from you, because you have longer newscasts than we do.
We do have a full newscast and several, throughout the day and weekend. But to me, it's this kind of recognition that because some people are going to listen, some people are going to watch, some people read the paper, a lot of people check websites.
Yes, a lot of people check websites.
But this kind of recognition by the people transcends all that,
Mm-hmm.
really. So it feels real great to know that we're on target. We're working through our community in our way.
Yes. And then of course we are, as a print product, more than willing and very happy to recognize other media in the community who are absolutely doing the best job that they possibly can for the community.
We want to serve. That's what I think both of us were brought up on all this time. We want to serve the community and make sure that they're informed. We answer phones, we answer their questions, we help direct them, or whatever is needed.
And complaints, and smart remarks.
Yes.
This is a time none of us have ever seen before with this COVID. In fact, I even get a little bit confused some days when you get doing the figures and everything for all the COVID cases. Did I do this already? This sounds familiar. But people really want to know. Some people say they don't want to know anymore, but I think they really do want to know what's happening with the businesses in town, which is also another one of our responsibilities, I feel, is to help support our local businesses that are also in an unbelievable situation right now for them.
And that puts us in a situation because all of us depend on the revenue from advertising, and that is at its low point right now through COVID, but we still serve.
Absolutely we do.
Some families have said that since they've been home and things have been different, they're not out and about as much as they were. There's things they miss, but there's also good points that have come out of that. certain benefits that they didn't imagine would happen but have. And I think that this right here, us sitting down together, is kind of a benefit of that. We have time to talk about this.
Yes, we do. We do have time to talk, but I also think some of the benefits include, being able to spend more time with one's family
Absolutely.
and being able to sit down at dinner table and actually talk about the things that we deliver to the community.
I know you say you're working from home.
Yes, I am. I have a studio at home that my son helped me build, by the way, and through the miracle of communications, we can get it on the air 5 minutes or 2 minutes later, actually. So we can keep it up to date pretty much, and of course we've got the Fox News also throughout the day for national news. But that's a big help, and it kind of keeps the environment safer with the fewer people in the radio station. I guess you're probably locked up now too, basically, aren't you?
Doug and I both work every day. Some of the other staff comes in as well, but we've been there every day through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Good. Somebody needs to be. I don't think people think about journalists or radio station people or people who are trying to serve the community the way we do in the media as being, essential employees that we really are, because now more than ever, as well as, anyone else who's trying to keep people up to date on what's going on with the CDC recommendations.
And it changes daily.
Yes, it does.
And that brings to think that businesses such as all of ours, with revenue low at this time, we still have to report the news. And I think this is finally getting through to some of our political leaders.
Mm-hmm.
There's something afoot, I think, that may be helping us.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I don't have any more questions.
Okay.
I want to thank you very much for having us here today. And
Sure.
It's great to all get together
It
like
is.
this.
I think it's very gracious of you to carry on this tradition. The newspaper has had the tradition of the best of,
Mm-hmm.
whole different categories throughout town, and a chance for us then to say publicly to everybody, thank you for reading, listening,
Absolutely.
viewing.
Oh, we appreciate it too. We love that our readers love this. Even reaching beyond our own readers with this product, it's great. We get a huge response every year. And this has been the biggest response year ever with the digital ballot. So it's been great.
Well, this has been a pleasure. Thank you, Julie.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
for
Jillian.
coming in. I appreciate it.